For decades, Tyndale has partnered with ministries around the world through prayer, relationships, and service.
We started back in 2006 was our first mission trip, and it came about with discussions in our executive team about how do we connect our employees with some of the ministries that Tyndale's involved with. We thought taking employees on a mission trip where they can go and see and serve is a good place to help our employees connect.
In 2025, Tyndale employees traveled to Poland to serve alongside Impact Poland at Lake Epic.
Tyndale's history with Impact Poland and the Polish equivalent, which is called Evangelical Poland, goes back to a partnership between that organization and Tyndale House Foundation. I was first introduced to Andrew Gorski, the CEO of Evangelical Poland. As I got to know him better, got to understand what the ministry is that he and his team are doing in Poland in the evangelical church there, I started to get more excited about the idea of partnering as a publishing company with this Polish organization, and that led to the formation of the mission trips.
Poland is 0.2% evangelical. Lake Epic was purchased to serve as a place where pastors would come, where churches could come and could be equipped, when they could build relationships, where they could be transformed, and where they could be trained for ministry for future. We could equip church planters, equip evangelists. And goal of Lake Epic is to be a Christian training center, the largest Christian training center in the northwestern part of Poland.
The teams bonded with locals and long-term missionaries during work, church services, meals, and street preaching events.
I love the vision of Epic because it's not just about having camps or conferences. It's about the impact that God can do through Lake Epic in all of Poland. It was a very natural transition for me to be a part of Lake Epic.
Our work was twofold. One was relational work, creating connections with the people at Lake Epic and also Impact Poland. And then we did a lot of revitalization work from sort of a demolition and construction standpoint.
We were making this old camp fresh and new, and so we were working on making mainly the cabins in the camp. So we did a lot of painting, scraping, sanding, a lot of type of work that you could get in the zone on. What I enjoyed about it was that since you didn't need to think too hard, you could really talk to fellow coworkers and things and get to know them as you worked.
Working with colleagues on a mission trip, it just brings before your awareness the fact that you're not just colleagues in a professional environment, but also brothers and sisters in Christ who are serving the purpose of Christ to be his hands and feet.
Tyndale plans to send additional teams to Lake Epic.
It helps build a relationship. You know what needs to be done. You meet and participate in relationship with the leaders. And so having a multi-year effort, it makes it a lot of fun because employees back here in the office hear about it and then they want to go as well.
Being able to work for a company that actually sends people across the globe and then is also investing in ministries and nonprofits across the globe, then we actually get to see the implications of our work and we get to see the impact of our work and see what the Lord is doing through our work, which is really, really special.
If I was talking to an individual who's thinking about potentially joining a missions trip, my strong encouragement would be just go for it. You never know what kind of impact is going to take place in your own heart, in your own life. I think it's something that every Christian organization, every Christian company, every church should be at least willing to consider.
I once heard this quote from Pastor John Haggai: "Attempt something so impossible for God, it's doomed to failure unless He's in it." I have just been watching how God works, and now we're in the process of moving Lake Epic from a campground into a Christian training center. It is God who did it. No one else can take the credit.
Learn more about how you, your church, and your organization can get involved at impactpoland.org.